My Soulmate's a Slime by admay19 appeasing jealous soulmate. Shedding tree. The morning's really breathtaking, to almost everyone at least. Yet not to a certain individual. Walpurgis happened and ended on a good note. Everyone must have gotten home happy and satisfied but for Tempest team. The group's looking forward to the newest entertainment of the century. Seeing the great ruler, chancellor, strongest or whatever they call Rimuru try and reconcile with his sulking jealous soulmate. Even Zareth, who threw Tempest in disarray with his arrival alone, was long forgotten as the news of Thyr King trying to do something out of context is more attention-seeking. At least for those who knew it anyways, since this matter should be contained. Well, there is no one to blame but his clumsy manly urges who chose to appear at the wrong time. One of the demon lord's attendants who was in charge of serving wine was dressed quite, how to phrase this, provocative. Yeah, something like that. And this so-called Rimuru was just hooked when she walked to his seat and served him the rich red wine. His gaze had to look her up and down, pink color shading his cheeks, a dreamy look on his face. He was just admitting to himself that she is a hottie and has a nice body only to feel an ominous aura directed at him. Too late when he realized he just dug his own fate. Gulping, he looked at his Maeva. Her expression is blank, but her eyes are digging deep on his very being. Raphael had informed him. The lady was just really holding back with her strength not to smack him right there and make him fly without wings. And now 2 days later and his beloved soulmate still refuses to talk to him. He'd heard all sorts of scolding too. Ah, why is this so hard? You stupid idiot slime, you just have to make things complicated. Rimuru held his head as he self-battled at his office, yelling in there all alone. Raphael could only sigh as she soundproofed the room just so his master could vent out his frustration. It's better if she'd just yell and hit me than having to endure this silent treatment. You've done it now, Rimuru. Stupid you. On the bright side, he actually didn't do anything harmless, but still to be caught in a situation like that? He is still a man after all, but he knew that is no excuse for what he's done. If that were Xian and Shuna, they'd have murdered me by then, but this is much worse. How can I solve this problem? Sigh. Even you're exasperated, Raphael? I'm sorry. I am used to your one-at-a-time attitude like this, so this is nothing to me, but for Maeva, it's entirely a different story. Rest assured though, she was never angry at you. Huh? She's not angry? But her silent treatment? She's not mad, but she's quite disappointed, and you deserve this silent treatment. I know. But I can't bear it anymore. I want to talk to her while she cuddles my slime body. I miss her, you know. I know better than anyone. There's nothing you can do except show her your sincere apology. You'll be fine. He looked down defeated at that. If only it'd be that easy. But Maeva doesn't even want to see him, so how can he soothe her? Now he could only sigh resignedly. Alvarez and Tempest are not only having this diplomatic relationship, but we are family from now on. Rimuru. Zareth chimes as soon as his personal meeting with the ruler was finalized. Rimuru blinked, not quite getting what the Emperor meant. Huh? Zareth smiles, adoring his new brother-in-law. Family. You'd be marrying and crowning Maeva as your wife and the Queen of Tempest. No, not to mention, Maya is with Noir too, who directly works under you. So, of course we are family. The slime was relieved at that. A big smile was drawn on his lips at what he just heard that lifts his spirits. I really love the sound of that, Zareth ni-san. Zareth was surprised at the endearing call, but his heart warmed. That is right, he is now the big brother to Tempest as well, his new family. Likewise. I look forward to our abundant relationship in the future. Remember, Alvarez is always open for Tempest, any time of day. Thank you. Tempest is the same in that regard. The duo shook hands, sealing the end of their close-knit deal. The Emperor smiles back, as even Rimuru's smile is really persuasive. Anyway, any progress with my younger sister? The question had the slime stiffen. His eyes cast down and he sighed, giving Zareth the answer he needed. Oh my. Sorry, can't help you in that one, bro. But if I am sure of one thing, my dear sister Maeva won't relent if you wouldn't level up your game. Rimuru blinked, confused. I don't get what you mean by that, Ni-san. What do you mean by leveling up my game? Zareth chuckles before proceeding to tell the younger what he meant exactly, leading to the reaction he wanted to see. Getting inside her room after spending time at the hot spring with her sister, Maeva was ready to hit the hay only to frown seeing Rimuru sitting on her bed in only his robe. Seems like he just got out of his bath as well. Yeah, but what exactly is he doing in her room? His lush hair was tied to the side, golden eyes soft and loving. Sighing, the high princess closed the door behind her and leaned against it, crossing her arms. Why are you here? She inquires even though she very much knew why he invaded her personal space at this time of day. Or it could be more pressing matters she couldn't exactly dismiss. Baby, please we have to talk. Maeva stood frozen. She's so in her own little world that she's not prepared for the endearment attack. And his voice isn't helping. Tender and soothing, he knows exactly how to play his cards. I apologize for my actions. I did you wrong and I have no excuse. I really am sorry. He got down from the bed and walked closer. Seeing her about to push herself away from the door, he was quick to cage her back in, rendering the lady in shock. Her eyes widens, heartbeat accelerates having not expected this close proximity at all. Sure, they had shared light hugs and pecks but this is totally different. What in the world are you doing now, you slime? Her voice raised as her cheeks flushed. This? It's called charm attack, darlin'. Rimuru replied, his finger now tracing her jawline. Loving the effect he has on her. This is checkmate overload reserved exclusively for his lovely soulmate. He has predator, and he thought it's best to hunt down his girl's forgiveness in this way too. Charm attack my foot. Shish. Baby, listen. Maeva's lips was sealed by a point finger forcing her to stop. Like I said, I have no excuse. You can hit me all you like, yell at me for years but don't give me this silent treatment. I can't tolerate it. I can't bear not hearing your voice, not seeing you. Call me love-struck, I don't care. But enough of this avoidance and silence. Hit me but don't ignore me, he conveyed, voice laced with different emotions. A mix of tenderness and plea, stern and firm. Whatever happens, he wants her to know, they must talk things out like adults not run from it. So he needed to cut off her escape route and confront her directly. They'd be ruling together and communication is a must. Maeva looked into his eyes, her very own finally softening. Their gazes were the only ones doing the talking for a while before the princess kneed him on the stomach forcing him to back away from her. Raphael, can you hear me? Lower down his pain nullification for a while would you? Anyways he asked for a good beating. Rimuru's eyes widens this time. Oh goody two shoes, his method fired back at him. Understood, he heard Raphael answer in his mind before an onslaught of pain in his stomach kicked in. Raphael. He couldn't help but whine as his hands held his pained midriff. Just for a while master, then you'll be fine, his partner assured him just as Maeva kicked him again and he fell face first on the floor. No problem, Rimuru breaths out accepting his fate. It's just the negative emotions talking and later, he'll have his soulmate in his arms again. Gaining on him, the high enchantress grabbed his arm and threw him over her shoulder, his back meeting the cold floor this time. He groaned in pain but that quickly changed to a smile when Maeva slumped down beside him. Okay, that is enough. Raphael, heal him please and put his pain nullification back up. Thank you, she commanded and Rimuru felt strengthened instantly. His bruises were gone, aura coming back in full force. Oh, good thing that is finished, Maeva's hits are no joke. Sitting up, he smiled as he gathered the lady in his arms squeezing her tight. His nose greedily buried on her hair taking in her scent, pulling her on his lap. She yelped at that but he only chuckled. Am I forgiven? He questioned swaying her gently. Yup. But do this again and I'll go marry someone else. Maeva answers playfully only to gasp feeling his hold tighten more. Rimuru's face darkens, gone as soon as it came. Marry someone else? Who now? How dare this girl say that out from that pretty mouth of hers? Maeva. My sweet sweet baby, his tone descended down 2 octaves lower sending chills down the lady's spine. She hesitantly looked at his face just to regret it. Now this is what you call predator. His eyes are burning, lips lifted into a smug smirk. I hate to break this to you but any man trying to touch even the tips of your hair in a way I do not like will face the same fate as everyone who dared made me their enemy. He leaned closer now whispering on her ear, his hot breath both ticklish and fear-striking. You might have read this a lot and it's a popular line of males getting quite possessive of their woman but I don't blame them. Don't you ever say such a thing again, you understand? 'Cause you are mine through and through. Maeva gulped, body stiffening that didn't escape the ruler. Her heart hammered in her ribcage, body getting jelly. This slime. Oi. Quit it. Geez. You sounded a total possessive jerk. I don't like that. We're equals here, not owned by any other sheesh. Rimuru finally broke into a laugh. Oh, how priceless. Now, Maeva's annoyed and dumbfounded. I know, baby, I know. I am just teasing you, but. He pecked her forehead. You know I am serious, right? Maeva answered with an eye roll. Of course he is dead serious. After all, it's just lying dormant deep down within him. And it's normal for men to feel that way once in a while. Especially with the ladies they truly have genuine feelings with. Being possessive, that is. It's totally their choice whether or not they'd let it consume them, though. The princess, however, jolts in shock, suddenly feeling a soft pair of lips on hers. What the what? Wait a minute, what is happening? The gentle pressure on her lips had awakened her of what is really happening. Her soulmate stealing her first kiss. And she's in too much shock to comprehend it. Rimuru pulled away, looking into her still shocked expression. He smiled at the redness of her cheeks and his thumb rubbed it gently. Maeva, I love you. She could respond, but he cut that off as well, having claimed her lips once more in a deep promising kiss.